This coffee break with police experts is sponsored by Traca. Law enforcement agencies trust Traca for secure, efficient, key and asset management systems that easily integrate with other security platforms. Ensure your agency's assets, including weapons and fleet vehicles, are protected and monitored 24/7. Visit us at IACP in Boston to see our solutions in action or visit traca.com. Hi, and welcome to Coffee Break with Police Experts. I'm David Griffith, editor of Police Magazine, and with me today to talk about vehicle management and control is Bryce Thompson of the Wylie, Texas Police Department. Bryce is currently a civilian employee of the Wylie, Texas Police Department, but he was a deputy sheriff for 30 years and is now retired. Bryce, thank you for your time today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your experience throughout your time as a sworn officer when you would check out vehicles, and did you ever get in trouble for not getting them back on time or anything like that? Did you ever have any experiences like that?
No, I did not personally.
Okay, can you tell me a story of someone who did without giving enough details to identify them?
Well, we've had several officers over the years forget their keys in their pockets, take them home, and we've spent hours and hours trying to find them and having to call the officers back into the office, maybe on their day off or their time off, and that it causes issues with the department and with the employees.
What happens when something like that goes on? Do you just call them and they come back in, or
Yes.
yes.
Most of the time. We have had other officers drive by their residence and pick the keys up and bring them back to the office for them. We've several different scenarios over the last 34 years that I've been in this business.
Wow. So I'm assuming that when you don't have the keys to a vehicle, it's basically disabled, that patrol unit is not getting out on the streets. So this is really a serious issue.
Correct.
Okay. So in your 30 years of experience or 34 years of experience with patrol vehicles, I mean, how have agencies managed them in the past? Can you talk a little bit about that versus the kinds of digital systems that you have today?
Normally key cabinets with hooks, and the officers check their keys in, and we either have had a log in the past, or they just hang them on the hook, and the next officer that comes by, if the key is actually on the hook with the number coordinated with the vehicle, then they would grab that. And but that's basically, it was just a trust system. The officer would return the keys and the officer would get them off the hook. There was no tracking of the keys or anything like that.
I've seen this happen in the past with like valet services. Sometimes the key gets put in the wrong spot. It's a mad scramble to find the key. The person's waiting there and getting angry. Obviously, that's not happening at a police agency, but it could get in the wrong spot. So how did you handle that?
Definitely could get in the wrong spot and get misplaced. And we've had that happen a lot in the past. And I've spent several hours searching for keys.
That's got to be frustrating.
Very frustrating.
All right, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, in the recent past, before we got the digital system that we have now, officer lost some keys, and I think they were left in somebody's desk, and we spent several hours, and we didn't have a second set. Couldn't even find the second set of keys, and that was pretty frustrating because that vehicle was needed for an emergent response, and that caused a little bit of tension around the office.
What kind of emergent response?
Not to get in the details, but they needed it to deliver some necessities out to a scene.
Okay.
and the vehicle wasn't available.
So obviously, when a police vehicle can't be used because the keys are missing, it's like I said, it's a critical concern. Um, do you guys have take home vehicles?
Yes, our patrol officers do have take-home vehicles.
How does that necessitate the need for a better control system? What are some of the issues that you need to address with take-home vehicles and maintaining where the key is at all times?
So our officers are on a 84-hour schedule, so they work 3 days one week and 4 days the next week, and so on. And so whenever they return their vehicle on their third day, then they leave the vehicles here and turn their keys in, and then on the next shift, the other end of the week, when they get back, then they expect that vehicle key to be there. But they're take home vehicles when they're on duty during whichever part of the week that they're assigned to.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. What are some tips that you would give to other agencies regarding the management of vehicle keys for patrol vehicles and for emergency vehicles?
Well, I would say the digital system is the best way to go. Anytime a key is lost or misplaced, you can always go right on the system. You can see who checked out that key last, and then you can contact that person directly. Just an easy way to track the keys back and forth, turning them in, who turned them in last, who picked them up last, the time, and it's all time and date stamped. So you'll know exactly when that key was checked out and turned in.
Okay. Um, are most of your vehicles now fob type keys or are they standard old style keys?
Fob
Okay.
style.
Well, we both know those are really expensive to replace. So
They
managing the
are.
keys is even more important than it used to be.
We're phasing out the vehicles that have the keys and not the fob. So I think we've only got very few left that only has a key for entry. Most of the vehicles we get in now do have the fobs.
Well, let's talk about the digital system that you're using. You're using the Tracker system. What are some of the benefits of using that system?
Benefits is very, very simple to use. Just a click of the button and you're in the system, and adding as we grow and we get more officers, it's got plenty of expansion where we can add users and add keys to the key. But we have two key boxes, one for our jail and one for vehicles. And the boxes, they're pretty simple to use. They have a card reader, and you swipe your card and put your code in that's assigned to you, and then select the key that you're looking for, and it's right there. And if the key's not there, then they call me or another administrator on the system, and I can tell them exactly who the person is that has the key. So it's a very simple system to use.
Okay. So walk me through exactly what the officer does when they bring back the key or when they check out the key. You said to use a card and then a code to activate the system, right?
Yes.
And you punch that into a
um,
keyboard with a display, or
Yes, sir. It's got right next to attached to the key box, there is a display and a card reader on there, and they just swap their card, and then it asks for a 4-digit code, and they push the code in, and the door automatically opens, and each key has a related number, and it's got a light. And so whenever they push the button to the number, it correlates with the key. The light turns green, and they can retrieve the key right out of the box. And they shut the door, and it secures. And same thing on return. When they return, they swap their card, put their code in, the door opens, and they slide that key fob right in the hole where it was. Now, if they put it in a different hole, it'll turn red and it won't lock the key in. So,
Oh, wow.
right. So they have to put it in to where the green light is on. That way they know they're in the right, they have it in the right spot.
So you can't put the key in the wrong place.
Correct. Well, you can, but it will not secure
Okay.
right.
Well, that's very interesting. All right. Now, as administrator, what kinds of information does the system provide to you?
It the name of the person. Whenever I set up a user, I put all the officers' information in, a badge number, what building they're assigned to, um, what keys they have access to, and what keys that they do not have access to, and their email information is in there. So anything I need, if someone calls me and says, "Hey, I've lost a key or I've misplaced a key, I can't find the key," then I'll pull up the system, find the key they're looking for, and it'll tell me the officer's name, location, the last time he checked the key out, and that sort of information.
How long have you had this system?
I believe we got this system I came here in 2020, 2021 after we reopened our new police department.
And has it been revised at all, the software or the hardware of the system since then?
We've had a couple of updates, and I think that we're waiting on one more update to the system.
Okay. All right, sir. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.